So for today's video, what we're going to be going over are if, else, elif in Python to kind of give you some control over your code and you can start doing real life things. But one thing I want to go over with you guys before we jump straight into that is the idea of how variables are actually held in memory in Python. So if you come from another coding language, you might have the idea that when a variable gets declared to something, it creates one box for it and holds it in memory as a specific location in memory, the variable and what it's storing all together. In Python, that's not really what happens. You can think of it more so along the lines of this. You can think of it like two boxes, one for your variables and one for your location in memory, which you're actually going to hold. So what happens is you declare a variable to something in memory. Let's say x equal to 10. Now you have x equal to 10, and that's declared here, x and 10. Now you have your variable saved. But let's say that you want to do y equal to 10. What's going to happen here? It doesn't create a brand new box. What happens here is that y points to the same 10 in memory. Now if you do z equals to 10, with what I just told you, I'm sure you can probably assume that the same thing's going to happen, and it does. Z points to the same 10 in memory. So when you declare something in Python, it's going to create it once in your memory, and the variables that you declare in the future are going to point to that same thing in your memory. So how can we make our program actually make decisions? Let me fix my mic. Well, this is where we use booleans from our data types videos. Let's say that you have a variable like is hot, right? The weather is hot. You can set it to either true or false, both with uppercase, or else it won't actually read as a boolean in memory, just a string. You need to just set it to either true or false. And once you have the boolean set to that in memory, you can have a program that can make decisions with that. So let's jump into it. Okay, so let's jump into it. We've set our variable is hot to true in memory. So you can think about it like if you have your program, I guess, kind of set up with a thermometer, right? Your program will check the thermometer over and over and over, and it's going to kind of check until a condition is met, which is where our if else comes in. So if is hot is true, so let's set our is hot to 70, and the temperature is above 70. The first half, if is hot, you need to put colon, print, drink water. The second half to this is the else. Else, colon again, print, it's not hot. Now, why do we keep putting colons after the if and else? They basically signal to the interpreter that there's something under it to run. And if you don't include it, you're going to get a syntax error with squiggly lines, and you're going to basically realize immediately that's what you forgot to do. So never forget those two colons after your if-else blocks. Okay, now for elifs. Let's go back to that same idea we had before, where we had our if-else block, where we had if is hot, we'd print drink water, or else we'd say is not hot. Now, what if you wanted to add more options to your code? Are you stuck with just having two things? Nope, that's where elif comes in. It's basically or else if, do this. So if it's above 70 degrees, or is hot, we'll print drink water. Else if elif colon or elif temperature is below 50, we'll print bring a sweater, or else you'll just print it's not hot. So you know you don't need to bring anything else. So this is useful for you. So let's say that you woke up, you programmed this yourself. You can just look down at your little computer, whatever you have it programmed onto, and you'll know if it's going to be a hot day, a cold day, if it's telling you to bring a sweater. And you can always add more to that. You know, if you get below 30 degrees, you can tell yourself bring a jacket. You know, it's up to your mind at that point. This is where code can actually start to really do things and process, and I guess it's whatever your mind comes up with at that point. You know, if else elif, this is where you start building up and can actually do real things with coding, and it starts to become fun. So right now I'm gonna try to challenge you guys. It's not going to be easy, so you should take a moment to. I think you should really write it down because it sounds counterintuitive, but something I came to realize is when you write something down, it really helps you to understand a lot better. So I'm going to challenge you guys to make a little weather checker like we've been talking about throughout the video. I wanted to, if it's above 70 degrees, print is hot, right? Uh, elif, if it gets to be under 50 degrees, print bring a sweater. You know, I want you guys to make your own temperature weather checker and show me what you come up with in the comments. It's not going to be the exact same thing that I had throughout the video. You can use it as a base if you want, but I want you to add to it and kind of have a small taste of what you can do with your mind and your own creations.